Welcome back to the CTO Playbook, the podcast dedicated to helping CTOs excel. I'm your host, Adam Horner. As a coach, I help CTOs from startups to enterprises to lead with clarity, confidence, and strategic impact. And someone who today is quietly celebrating, because this is episode 52. That's one episode a week for a full year. But before we get into today's episode, I want to share something new with you. Something I built to help you on your leadership journey. If you've ever felt like there's no handbook for being a CTO, you're not alone. I've been there too, and I hear it every week from the CTOs and tech leaders I coach. That's why I created this podcast, because technology leadership is challenging enough, and figuring it out alone just makes it even harder. Now, I brought everything together under one roof, the CTO Playbook. The CTO Playbook is a home for this podcast, a growing community of CTOs, and a suite of coaching programs, all designed to help you grow as a technology leader. Think of your leadership journey like a mountain, but one with many routes. CTO Basecamp helps you build breadth and clarity into your role. CTO Elevate sharpens your strategic impact, and CTO Ascent, that's a path you can take anytime. It's your personalized coaching journey designed around your specific needs, whether you're just starting out or already leading at the highest level. Your path, your pace. I've just launched CTO Basecamp. It's a new cohort-based program to help technology leaders strengthen and broaden their leadership foundations. If you're ready to stop figuring it all out the hard way and start leading with clarity, confidence, and strategic impact, the waitlist is now open, with early access and a discounted rate available for early joiners. You can learn more about CTO Basecamp, CTO Ascent, and what's coming in the near future with CTO Elevate at thectoplaybook.com. Creating 52 episodes of the podcast while evolving the core of what I do has been fun, educational, and rewarding, but also at times tough, juggling priorities, struggling with new learnings and new habits, and making deadlines, sometimes only just making the deadlines. So here's a simple truth that I want to explore today. In leadership, presence matters more than perfection. Presence builds trust. Presence earns followership. Presence fuels resilience. But presence is also one of the hardest things to practice consistently in the fast, demanding world we work in. Today, I want to share some personal reflections, lessons, and stories about the power of just showing up and the cost of not doing so. And yes, I also want to celebrate reaching this milestone and talk about why celebration itself is a leadership act. Let's start by defining what we mean when we say showing up. Because it's not just attendance. It's not just being in the room or in the Zoom. It's about being fully present, being engaged. It's about giving the people you lead and the people you love the gift of your attention, your focus, your respect. It's about being consistent, not perfect, but reliable. Someone they can count on. And a world where everyone is too busy and always thinking about the next thing, presence, it turns out, is a radical act. Let me start with a couple of moments from my life that have stuck with me. One was at my daughter's football training, relatively recently. I was chatting away with another father on the sidelines. Pretty harmless, right? At least I thought so, until his daughter came running over, almost in tears, at the water break, and she was furious. "You're not even watching me," she shouted at her father. And that stopped us both in our tracks. To us, it was just a casual chat. To her, it mattered. It mattered that her dad was distracted when he was meant to be present. Another moment I had was at home, playing a board game with my kids. I consciously put the phone away and just focused on the game. And at the end, one of my kids said, "That was fun." And I asked why, just curious. He said, "Because you didn't have your phone with you." See, they notice. They always notice. Presence builds connection. And absence, well, it builds distance, even when you're sitting right there. And it's exactly the same thing when we step into our professional roles. Presence isn't just a personal practice. It is a professional responsibility. You've seen it. I've seen it in meetings, cameras off, people pretending to listen. You ask a question, and then there's the telltale pause. And the question comes, could you repeat that, please? And when they finally answer, you can hear the lack of context. You can feel the disconnection. You see, presence is one of the fastest ways to build trust with your team, and one of the fastest ways to lose it if you don't bring it. And in leadership, trust is everything. If you're half present, your team, they're going to be half engaged. If you show up consistently, fully there, they will start to do the same thing. They will be fully engaged, they will be fully there, and they'll be with you and supporting you. I saw this firsthand when I joined a team that was completely demoralized. There was rounds of redundancies, people leaving the company, there was general conversation that didn't leave people feeling confident. And in one of our first meetings, they were talking about management. Like it was some abstract third party, even though I was management. I was represented the leadership. I was the CTO. I was sitting right there. And even though I was right there, they spoke to me about me in the third person as management. They didn't trust me. They didn't trust the system. They didn't trust each other. But I showed up every week, same time, same place. One-to-ones that were never rushed. Conversations that weren't transactional. No laptop between us, no Slack on the side, no extra messages, no second thing I was watching out for. And week by week, things shifted. The conversation changed. The perception changed. They stopped saying management wants this and management wants that. And they started asking things about, Adam, can we talk about this particular aspect? Can we just go over this other thing once again? Because I saw you notice this the other day and I want to ask you about it. The language changed. The trust had built and the team was transforming right in front of me. Not because of any big grand speech, not because of some flashy offsite or a new football table for them to play with or a new ping pong table, just consistent presence. Being there fully. I was there and they knew I would be. Presence also isn't just about being there when things are hard or messy. It's about being there to recognize the moments that matter. See, too often we finish a project, we hit a deadline, and we immediately move on to the next thing, the next deadline, the next project, the next tick box to be done. I remember back in the UK, I was on a big program that was always running late. There were no celebrations. There was no acknowledgement. There was just relentless pressure to move on to the next thing. And one new manager came in and quite a lot of us were skeptical, as you can imagine. This is quite a few years ago, as you can guess. And they changed a number of things, but one thing really stuck with me and I will never ever forget it. At the end of every sprint, we had a 15-minute session, not to plan, just to recognize that we had delivered. However small, however inconsequential, however much scope had been reduced, however difficult it had been, 15 minutes to just say, we did that. We got this thing done. It's out the door. And after one big release that was quite momentous, we got a lot of stuff done. So after this big release, he surprised us. He brought us all outside the building, away from our desks, and he gave a short speech, just genuine thanks. And then he gave us the afternoon off. And of course, people dashed back in, got their stuff, ran to the train, people went home, had some time off. But what I noticed was that when people spoke about this event afterwards, weeks and months later, the time off, the afternoon that people got, that was not remembered. People barely even acknowledged that there was an afternoon off. They'd forgotten about it. It was just lost in time. But they remembered that thank you. They remembered those 50 minutes outside, a break from the normal routine, and somebody just taking that time to just say, thank you. And that was what stuck with people. That's what people spoke about. So the fact that someone had noticed, the fact that someone had been present enough to say, you did good work, it matters. That moment of presence mattered more than the reward itself. Now, let me be honest. Consistency is hard. Really hard. And I'm not perfect. I've made enough mistakes. My kids still have to remind me to put my phone away at dinner on occasion. When my wife, Janine, says it, it's a gentle nudge. But when the kids say it, that lands harder. That's when I course correct. And this podcast, there have been weeks where I was close to missing deadlines. There were some deadlines that I bent quite a bit. There were weeks where I had 3 episodes to record in 5 days. Weeks where I changed my mind last minute, like that Christmas episode, the really fun one. If you haven't listened to it, go have a listen to that one. And that threw the whole schedule sideways. And I've relied heavily on others, on Podigy, who do the production, on my assistant Lynn, on my wife Janine, to keep this going. Because consistency, it's not really about a heroic individual effort. Yes, we need to have the intention to turn up. Yes, we need to have the determination to be there and to be present. But we're going to be enabled. It's going to be made possible by other people working around us and working with us. And if we have the intention to be consistent, others will feel that intention, will notice it, will contribute to it and help you. And in turn, you can help them. See, it's about building the support and systems that help you show up, even when it's really, really tough. And those times will come. We know it. So here's your CTO playbook for today. Let's try and break this down into 5 steps that we can all use to practice in a fast-moving leadership role. So number 1, know where your presence matters most. Prioritize the one-to-ones, the retros, the team celebrations. Try and cut out or delegate the meetings where you don't need to be fully there. If you find a meeting where you can switch off and coast through it and there's no impact, you probably don't need to be in that meeting. Get rid of that one and put more priority onto the ones that really matter. Number 2, create friction for distraction. Literally take your phone and put it away when you're in key meetings. Shut your laptop in one-to-ones unless you're using it to take notes, and then only leave the note-taking app open, nothing else. Turn your notifications off, silent mode, personal mode, whatever, when you need to be fully present. It helps. And when you do that, other people notice you doing it. Put your phone in your pocket, your bag, out of the way. Number 3, celebrate your outcomes deliberately. Try and end your sprints, your projects with reflection and gratitude. Say thank you. It makes a huge difference. Not just another new backlog grooming session, a moment to just pause and say, thank you, folks. That was good work. In your one-to-ones, number 4, practice active presence. Try not to do any multitasking in those one-to-ones. Keep the eye contact up. Listening, not just for facts, but for the feelings and the signals. That's a lot of what presence looks like. That's a lot of what being 100% there means. And number 5, acknowledge your misses and recommit to it. When you miss a one-to-one for some reason, apologize. Say that you really intended to be there. Be genuine about why you couldn't be there and explain how you're going to focus on doing that better in the future. We all have misses. They're unavoidable. Life happens. Acknowledging them, apologizing, committing to it again, that will help you get back. So when you get distracted or drop the ball, own it. Show that presence is of value and not just a performance. So here we are then. Episode 52, 52 playbooks, a full year of the CTO playbook. And I'm taking a moment, not rushing it, just going to celebrate. I'm proud of this. I'm grateful to all of you who've listened and shared and supported this long journey, and will continue to support me in the future as we continue on. And I want to thank the people behind the scenes. Podigy, I've mentioned, my assistant Lynn, my wife Janine, especially. You've helped me show up week after week. And to you, the listener, thank you for showing up, whether you've listened to one episode or all 52. You've been present, you've been there, and that's what matters. So I'll leave you with this. Presence matters more than perfection. Show up fully, consistently, for your team, for your family, for yourself. I'm Adam Horner, and this is the CTO Playbook. See you next week, and until then, keep showing up. It's slow magic for outsized impact. Thank you very much for listening all the way through to the end. Just before you go, I'd like to ask you for one thing in return for putting together all these episodes of the CTO Playbook podcast for you. Please leave a review. Wherever you're listening, whether that is Apple Podcasts or Spotify or whichever platform you're on. Leaving a quick review will help more CTOs find the podcast and enable me to create more great episodes. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you on the next episode of the CTO Playbook.